I think what I learned from ski racing was not to be afraid of speed, and I think I did learn better edge control. Like, I did not learn how to wax my snowboard, I'll tell you that, but I learned how to use my edges, and I learned not to necessarily be afraid of speed. And I mean, I learned a lot. It applies not to just skiing, it applies to snow sports in general, right? Like, and I remember being at one of the first triple crowns, maybe like a Grand Prix that was at Summit. And I was like doing the big air, right? And I was like, I'm on like a borrowed M3 snowboard. My old coach, ski racing coach, Chuck, comes up and he's like, once my kid, always my kid. And he's like waxing my snowboard, trying to help me go faster so I wasn't like knuckling. And I just remember being like, this is so rad. Like, it's just, you know, a small community and everybody's just so supportive and there. And I was just like, that's freaking right. Like, thanks, Chuck. Like, I didn't do well in that contest, but I did good enough to get noticed by Chris Seda, and he let me borrow one of Kurt Wastell's snowboards for the next day. So that was cool.
As soon as Snow Summit allowed it, we all took a lesson, and I was done skiing. From then on, I was a snowboarder. Loved it, and I still do. After the Sims micro shred that she had when she was 6 years old, the first one we bought was a barfoot board because it was cheap. I mean, we really think Hana's an amazing kid. It's just, she blows us away totally. She gets a lot of her fearlessness from her mother. From the very beginning, the first real thing that she did was the Swatch border cross, and somebody took a picture of her coming off a jump, and I saw that picture and I just went, she is going to be something, because she just looked like she was the perfect snowboarder. And that was when she first decided she wanted to be a pro snowboarder. So from that time on, we basically supported her every way we could. We made sure that she could get out of school, drive to Snow Summit, and just spend the rest of the day there every day. And so we supported her fully on that whole scene. And because we were snowboarders ourselves, and we loved it so much ourselves, it was just so cool to see our daughter be so good at it. It was just an exciting, really exciting time.
I felt like there was a need for an all-women snowboard film at that time because there was so many amazing progressive snowboarders, and I thought they needed to, you know, be featured and have a voice in the snowboard industry. So it was important to really focus on each individual athlete and all their different skills. I'm not really sure if there was a movie before us. I feel like there might have been, but it might have been skiers. I don't know. I do know that we were definitely like ahead of the curve as far as, you know, progressive women's snowboard films. But no, one of the things I love about Hana is her perseverance. She doesn't give up. You know, when she fails, she gets back up, shakes it off, and goes back for more. And she's funny. Hana's super funny. She likes to mess around. She likes to be dorky, which I love too. So yeah, she's rad.
Hana Beaman kind of came on the scene, you know, right when I was doing really well in slopestyle competitions. And she was this girl that we all, you know, she kind of came from Big Bear or somewhere like that. And we would see her at these competitions. And it was, the crazy thing is that Hana was like rapidly climbing this ladder to become the queen of slopestyle at that point. Because this is right when like Van's Triple Crown of snowboarding was the big competition series to do well. And I think Hana won, I think she pretty much won all of them. You know, I can remember her standing on the podium with her many times as like, I won the men's and she won the women's. She was early adoptee of the Grenade crew. And I think for a while she was the only woman in the Grenade crew. And that is not an easy place to be as a female. But damn, she held her own and she was right there. I mean, I could not stay out as late as Hana Beaman did. That's for shit sure. She didn't. She was a machine on the hill and off the hill for sure.
We put her on vans, and working with Hana in the early days was awesome. She wanted to learn, she wanted to grow as a snowboarder, and I generally cared about her, and I wanted to see her do the best. So it was cool working with her on the van stuff. Super professional person. Whether it was a photo shoot, a product meeting, kind of a meet and greet at a shop, Hana would always show up with this smile and this positive energy. And that's why people want to work with her, is because she gives back so much more than just the snowboarding. Snowboarding's badass and it's great, but Hana's so much more than a snowboarder. She's just a great human, really. So I would say in my time working with athletes, Hana's definitely one of the most well-rounded professional people that I've ever worked with. And I'm not just talking about in snowboarding, I'm talking about everyone that I've worked with in my career.
I usually have a good amount of speed. Like, I feel like I've gotten to gauge my speed pretty well, and I know how to use the snowboard as a tool a little bit more. And just being able to have good form snowboarding goes a long way.